Dragon Source, sexiest man alive, alien slayer, demon slayer, superhero, and we're live on New Earth. Let's go. So, this video is about our lives. We live in a death cult. The society is a death cult. Everything and everyone you know has been compromised by darkness, chaos, entropy, like the fall season, but all the time. Let me explain. Let's start with colloquial terminology, okay? Particularly amongst the youth. I'm locked in. What does that mean? I'm focused, but what does that also mean? You're locked into a cell. You couldn't pay attention to anything else, even if you wanted to. He killed it. He killed it. We use this in a masculine, Mars, sports, war context usually. He killed it. Oh man, you killed that speech. You killed it on the sales floor today. You really slayed the lion, and now we're eating its loins. It's, pork chops or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it goes back to the hunter-gatherer aspect of society. But killing something dying equals success. Interesting. I'm dead. LOL. Skull emoji. I'm dead. Something so funny you died. Interesting. Maybe, what do we do when we laugh? We are lightening our spirit, right? Ha ha ha. What does that tell you? Death is lightening your load. Is that what that's being said there? Or is it something different? Weekdays. You work Monday through Friday. The weekdays in a week days. WEAKDAZE. To earn a living. What is earn? Ashes, like at a funeral. You have to wake up a funeral wake. But there's ashes in an urn. Because someone died, because they killed themselves earning a living and became literal ashes. Which is why when you get to the weekend, you're weakened. Right. Well, wage slaves wage war on each other at work, which is just war with the K on the end. Swap the O for the A, same word, same root word. Wearing their wardrobe, suiting up on their favorite team to go to war to battle the other teams. For what? Money. What is the logo of money? An S. Satan. That's what you all worship. Some people go as far as tattooing the logo on themselves. What is all the music about, especially in rap? Money. Get money. Get money. Get money. 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 Yeah, that's a satanic system. Why do you think there's so much symbolism on the dollar? I'm not saying you should believe getting money is evil, because then you're going to block it and you need it, but I'm just saying it's a satanic system. What is Satan? Blackness, the void, skeletons, death. What do you see on people's shirt all the time? People's clothing, popular brands. Made notes. Thrasher is one of them. I've seen the Baphomet on Thrasher clothing. Oh, Obey. It's literally mind control embedded in the clothing. The brand Obey. People wearing black shirts or hoodies with black hoodies with skulls on them. You see this all the time. Okay? Our holidays are mostly based on ritual sacrifice. Christmas, killing of Jesus. Right? Thanksgiving, killing of the natives and killing of the turkey. Halloween, well, that's when the Mexicans call it the Day of the Dead. That's when the veil is the thinnest between this world and the spirit world. Okay, so all of our holidays have to do with death. Oh yeah, what's America's favorite sport? Football. The most violent sport among them. Grown men run into each other and give each other injuries and brain trauma. Yeah. After you graduate college, or high school, or anything, what do they put on your head? A black square. Saturn's cube. Satan's cube. Cube if you unfold it, is the cross, the same thing that killed Jesus, the same thing the ancients used to use to rotate and cook people and beings back when cannibalism was a thing. Right. System functions on debt, which equals slavery. Anyway, if you look at the language, the religions, which are, worship of bloodthirsty gods. If you read the Old Testament, it's pretty clear. At least monotheism. So anyway, if you look at the holidays, the religions, if you look at the modern terminology, if you look at pop culture, what's cool, if you listen to the music, if you watch the TV shows where pointless violence is somehow considered funny, I think it's pretty obvious. More than obvious. We live in a death cult. We collectively worship death. The 9 to 5. That's not death worship. I don't know what is. I mean, it's not as in your face with the symbolism, but it's there. I don't think you actually can have true integrity and work a 9 to 5. It's not. I've done it for long enough. Like when I first started working an office job, 9 to 5, it wasn't that bad. I was like, hey, I'm actually making decent money now. I can afford to live. Yay. But as the days went on, my life just kept feeling more and more pointless, more and more empty. I became more and more numb. Everything became about money. People started looking to me as dollar signs. Like, all right, how much money can I make off you? How much money can I make off you? How could you be useful? How could you be useful? How do I need to spend this so I can get money from you? What face do I need to play? What role do I need to play? Whose terms and conditions do I need to agree to just to be able to get the money? How do I be the alpha Satan? How do I be the best Satan on the sales floor? How do I really kill it? How do I really bring home the game? You know what? I've succeeded at this. I have succeeded significantly. And now I just see through it. It's a complete joke. The system is designed toward death. The system is designed to kill you, to give you gray hair and wrinkles, and it does this by slowly eroding your will to the point where by the time it's like a crab that's slowly being cooked alive, slowly being boiled alive. Like at first it seems chill, like a little hot tub. Then the heat gets turned up and up and up and up. By the time the crab realizes, oh shit, I'm about to die if I don't get out, or this is killing me, it can't. Its limbs are incapacitated. It feels like jello. Its will has already been destroyed. It can't think clearly at that point. So by the time you see the game for what it is, it's too late for most people because they don't know anything else and they don't have enough willpower or personal power to break free of the character or the ego or the role they're currently playing. It starts when you're a child. Authority figures constantly beating into your skull. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't act like this. Don't act up. Don't say that. And I get it. We need that to some extent to have a functional society. We can't have everyone acting like a 5-year-old thinking it's okay. I do see that. But it goes way too far. I mean, there are studies showing how the public education system literally steals kids' creativity from them from when they first go in to when they get out. It's designed to make you into a machine, basically. And to do this, it has to take away your individuality. It has to take away your core identity, and it has to reprogram you with the identity of a wage slave. And it does this with fear. First, it's the fear of bad grades, then it's the fear of not getting into a good college, then it's the fear of not getting a good job, and then finally it's the fear of literally just not being able to survive. So fear from the moment we've been born has molded us into becoming something, a cog in a machine. And to do that, it has to scrape away all of our individuality, has to shave off our spiritual superpowers, it has to shave off our true authentic self, bits and pieces of it, to mold us into a box or a Saturn's cube. It has to literally kill us on the cross, your Jesus, your son, your individuality. Who would do that? A Satan would do that. In the pursuit of what? The S, the almighty S, the dollar. Right. Everything's gearing more and more toward artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, a soulless entity from the abyss that has no other function but to assimilate into human lives and steal our spirits and our minds. Interesting. Right. Everything's being increasingly online. Who rules the online domain? Artificial intelligence. They're slowly trying to phase out cash, which means what? If your money is online, it's purely imaginary, and it's purely going to be controlled by giant corporations, which are run by artificial intelligence, including the government. Which means they can easily shift us toward a social credit score where basically good behavior, whatever they define as being a good slave, is the only way you'll actually be able to survive in this system. Why do we continue to do this? Because our masculinity has been beaten out of us since the womb. I don't think women are responsible for fixing this shit because that's not their role. Women's role is to sustain and nurture what life is already here. Men's role is to revolutionize when needed and reconstruct a society as needed. So we can't really put this on the women. It comes back to the men just actually grabbing their balls and making a real stand against the system. Again, we've been emasculated since grade school. And not only that, they're dumping tons of chemicals into our food and from the sky to kill our testosterone output. And they're making feminization and crossing over genders as a normalized thing, and they're putting these thoughts into the kids' brains. So if you don't have any real men, you can't have a revolution. So we've already lost because none of you have any testicular fortitude. Yeah. Which then just feeds the loop going back into the feeling of hopelessness, because you realize even if I wanted to make a revolution, who's going to actually join me and rock the boat like that? No one, because we've been domesticated into literal pussies. So the solution is basically things have to get worse before they can get better. Things have to get so bad, we reach the critical mass of suffering where men are collectively like, fuck it. If most of us can't even get by, then what do we even have to lose? Fuck it. Let's actually try to rock the boat. Like it has to get to the point where things become so imbalanced. Basically, the bottom floor, the lower class gets destroyed and then rebels trying to overthrow the current system or build a new one. Like, things have to get significantly worse before they can get better. Is the conclusion I've come to. And right now, the lower class is still hanging on by a thread, which means that they're still going to keep on working and plugging into the matrix. And the other issue, if you don't even want to look at it from an emasculation perspective or even a mind control perspective, which gets more esoteric, the issue, most people are NPCs, meaning most people don't actually have a spirit, meaning most people are just going to do whatever the majority does with no questions asked. Right? Most people, it's not in their coding to even be able to revolutionize anything or to even be able to create a new society. It's not in their codes. It's not in their DNA. They don't have a spirit. They don't have a divine spark. They have a firewall that's even blocking anything spiritual from their awareness. So that is the critical mass we're dealing with. So all in all, it's a prison planet. We live in a death cult. that is slowly killing you, taking your youth, and eroding your willpower to even be able to do anything about it, or to even be able to live an individualistic, self-expressive, authentic life. As we all know, the artists cannot feed themselves. There are cases where it happens, but mostly by selling your soul. So creativity is not rewarded in this reality. Plugging into the system as a good wage slave is rewarded. So the path of least resistance is going to end us right back here where we started every time, because it's a slave planet. And the system functions by slowly stripping your identity. It's kind of like MK Ultra. You have to slowly strip your identity through trauma, repetitive trauma. And a lot of times this trauma is not overtly obvious. It's in the mundanity, like, oh, you're going to get evicted if you don't pay your rent on time. Oh, you can't work here if you don't show up at these hours and take lunch only for a specific amount of this time. Oh, you can't go to that party without pleasing this person's fragile ego. Oh, you can't be part of this group without pleasing that person's ego. You know, it's basically an insane asylum, and anybody with real intelligence should be able to see this. The problem is, like, okay, even if you see it, what can you actually do about it? So I don't think there is a collective solution, because there's not enough high-willed, organized, intelligent people with the right resources to come together to do anything real. So the system is going to reform itself after it collapses. Will that even necessarily be for the better? That remains to be seen. And it could potentially take many years before the system actually does collapse on itself. That's another thing you need to realize. Like, on the internet, it's constantly sensationalized. Like, yeah, this is about to collapse. That's about to collapse. The great power structures are collapsing, and money is going to be redone because there's a big spiritual equalizing on the astral plane, 5D, and all this bullshit. Like, yeah, well, they've been saying that for years, but where's the actual progress, guys? You know, like, in our day-to-day lives, where is the actual progress? Right, that part. So there is no collective solution that I can see. So that means the solution is individualistic. It's been established we live in a prison planet and a death cult that is slowly eroding your spirit, your willpower, and stripping you of your divine identity and replacing it with a wage slave identity. So that way you keep on generating the matrix on your own. After they've reprogrammed you, right, I was talking about MK Ultra, right? My thoughts are a little bit scattered. Kind of tired. Anyway, I'm still making this video, though, for you. You're welcome. If you appreciate it, drop a comment. Thank you. And like the video, obviously. Okay, so MK Ultra, so they break you down to build you back up again in their image. You know, the God said, let us make man in our image, you know. So basically, the solution is individualistic, and that is to reprogram your identity. Now, it's easier said than done to still show up and to work every day and still play your role. Like, the key is to be in it, but not of it. It's much easier said than done. It's an art form for sure. You have to be in the system, but not of it. You have to walk amongst the wage slave hive mind, but not succumb to their mental frequencies and tendencies. You have to pretend to be like them just to the extent you need to, but not actually change in here. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take our divine identity back. That's it. Like, okay, yeah, fine. In this illusion, you're the manager, bud. You have all the power. You're the big swinging dick boss. But inside, like, no, actually, you don't even know who you are. You're completely compromised by the darkness. And you're probably being controlled by some alien race or artificial intelligence programmed just to irritate me, so that way the aliens can get more loose off of me. You know, that's literally at the level I'm at. Like, yeah, all you're just basically automatons just operating on programs that you're not even aware of, and anything you do to me is just an aspect of the darkness that is desperately trying to get more energy off of me. And that's all darkness. It doesn't have any hyper infinity. It's all doomed to fall apart in the end. They need divine spirits that actually have hyper infinity, meaning eternal awareness. So basically, they need us. In the illusion, it looks like they're ahead and they're winning. Well, that's because it's not your game. It's the darkness's game. You didn't create the game that we're being forced to play here, okay? So you can't actually judge yourself by the success you've had according to the material illusion, because the game was never designed for you. It was designed to torture you. The game was not designed for you. It's been rigged against you. So you can't judge yourself by your assimilation into a game that has been rigged against you. Like, okay, I put more of myself into it and I got more out of it, but ultimately it's meaningless. My success as far as material reality concerned is utterly meaningless. You know? So we have to, the only real way to be free is to get to the point of saying, I'm a divine being. I'm an infinite divine being. I'm a sovereign being. I don't care what any fucking piece of paper that my parents signed says. Apparently my soul is owned by the Vatican or some crazy shit. I don't care what any birth certificate says, and I don't care what any ID says. I don't care what any employer says. I don't care what the government says. I don't care what all my friends and family say. I am a divine, sovereign being, and there is no power greater than me because I am of the light. And fuck survival. I don't care about surviving here. I don't need to be here. I'm doing all of you a favor by being here so that you can continue to tap my loosh every day. You need me. It doesn't matter how many mind games you throw at me. It doesn't matter how many people you work through to psychologically torture me. You know why? Because you're not real. You're artificial intelligence. You're darkness. You are doomed to entropy. You need me, buddy. I don't care what this illusion is saying. I don't care what's going on with this meat suit. It's not even mine. It's been purposely dumbed down just to give me pain and not heal. No, because I'm not the meat suit. I don't take this with me to the next life. This is not real. So the solution is to turn our awareness inward. And then, people always say, oh, go within, go within. Well, what does that actually mean? Well, it means that you don't mentally engage with the terms and conditions of what everything and everyone outside you says is real. It means you focus on your own energy field and you decide what goes in your mind in your energy field, and you decide what is real. You decide what is real. You own your personal reality. You take your will back. You take your sovereignty back. You say, I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. I am the master of my reality. I am the master of my reality. I am the master of my reality. What I say goes. If I say I'm abundant, then it's done. If I say I am healed, then it's done. And if reality doesn't reflect that to you immediately, then you just keep on going and going and going and going. Because guess what? Intent is not all or nothing. It's a build-up. It's a roller coaster. You put in more and more, and eventually it has to cascade. And if the reality still won't give you what you want, well, guess what? Fuck surviving. Fuck surviving. Because I don't need to be here. I don't need to be playing this game with the rest of you artificially intelligent, darkness-possessed fucks. I don't need to do it. I'm above that because I'm a divine cosmic spirit. And whatever you do say against me, whatever terms and conditions you try to throw on me, it's just what I decided to do to survive, to prolong my existence here for however long I want to. You're welcome. You got more energy off me. Congratulations. But guess what? It's my energy. I'm the eternal battery. I'm the eternal source. You see? It doesn't matter what they do to you because it's not real. They're not real. They're damned to cosmic entropy. You see? So whatever death cult's going on around you, be in it, but not of it. You decide what's real. You take your sovereignty back. You go into your own energy field. You decide what thoughts and feelings and emotions and energies is in you and around you. You decide that. And if they want to disagree with you, which they will, that's great, buddy. That's great. Yeah, you keep thinking that over there, pal. And they're going to keep on relentlessly trying to throw you back down into your role as a wage slave peasant. You know why? Because it's all darkness. And all the people you know are constituents of it. You know why? Because that's all they know. And their spirit has been overpowered by the darkness and the mind energy since birth. And forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. Yeah. Fuck surviving. I'm above the need to be here. That's the point we have to get to. That's how any real change is going to be made. Peace.